In the meantime, welcome to the studio. One of my favorite people. I don't get to see this guy very often because he's busy and he has to talk to people all over the world, and somehow I come second.
This is true. Yes.
But it's Robert J. Jones, Chancellor of the University of Illinois at Urbana, Champaign. I've talked before about his fascinating life story.
Yes.
And the fact that he was literally a poor black child from Mississippi. Who, from where?
Georgia.
Oh, Georgia. How'd you end up in Mississippi then? No, you were there once. I remember. You drove through in a car, family vacation. Cover me, man. Cover me.
He had a layover there? Maybe.
I drove through there on my way to New Orleans for my first scientific presentation as a graduate student at the University of Georgia. But no,
that's my point.
Yeah,
that's all point.
You saw me when I stopped at that Waffle House.
That's exactly right. Here's where Robert J. Jones and I separate on things, because clearly we're twin brothers from a different mother.
And his memory is better than yours.
Clearly. His thesis on crop physiology, as a crop physiology scientist and currently the 10th chancellor at the U, I believe I was going to write this, and I think I may have given this idea to you. Yield components, respiration, and photosynthesis of contrasting genotypes of the tall fescue. Remember when I was going to write that? You guys remember?
Yeah, we were concerned about the fescue.
Tom, didn't I give you a draft on that? And I said, you know what? I'm never going to finish this. Send this to Mr. Jones.
And some of the spelling was incorrect, too.
It wasn't formatted correctly.
Mm-hmm. Was that it?
Yeah. It needed to be.
It
needed to be in Times New Roman, Steve.
I consider myself to be a fairly intelligent human being.
Probably just said fescue and not tall fescue. And that's problematic.
I look at that. I look at the title of that, and I think,
what?
I only understand about 3 of the words that are in there. That's in the title. He's a brilliant man, and we're happy to have him here, and thrilled about his success and the success of a brand new school year at the University of Illinois. Welcome.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to be here with you all.
Yeah, and I know you're in Chicago, for the day or a day or two. So what is the meaning of this trip?
Well, this is the last stop on our first leg of our statewide tour. We started on Monday down in Dixon, went up to the Quad Cities, and over to the Chicago High School of Agriculture yesterday. We had a reception last night for some alums. This is an annual event. It's our 3rd year of doing this. It's being led by the system president, Colleen, and all 3 chancellors participate in every location. And it's all about kind of reconnecting. It's more about listening and learning about what we are doing around the state, gaining firsthand knowledge about our presence, but also hearing from our constituents to get a good sense of what we could do better. We're a massive university.
Are you hearing a surprise or two, or are you hearing what you expect to hear?
We're hearing what we expect to hear, that our presence is transforming rural health care down in Dixon with KSB Hospital and Extension, and the University of Illinois Chicago's medical school has a rural health care program down there that's providing much-needed health care to a rather rural community, but it's a substantial community, roughly about 16,000 people. And the fact that UIC's University of Illinois College of Medicine is providing and training doctors specifically to populate rural parts of the state is absolutely critical. And the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign's Extension Office is a very key partner in reaching out because of our statewide presence and making sure that we are connecting all of our resources to improve health care and health outcomes in that vital community.
Rural doctors and physician's assistants and nurse practitioners are absolutely vital as we live longer and longer, and there are less doctors to supply. Getting doctors out in communities that are not doctored up at this point?
Yes, and what was eye-opener is that, as you know, we started our own College of Medicine in Urbana-Champaign about 5 years.
I didn't know that until...
I didn't know that either.
The Carl Illinois College of Medicine is the first engineering-based college of medicine in the world.
Wow.
I want to say that, in the world. And we're going to be leveraging Carl Illinois College of Medicine. It's a partnership between the Granger College of Engineering and really all of the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign to create this technology-driven College of Medicine to kind of redefine how medicine is taught and how medicine is practiced. We like to talk about it in the context that we are training physician entrepreneurs, people that can go out and create new kind of medical devices and find solutions to medical challenges. So you'd have to want to be an engineer as much as you want to be a physician.
Well, and medicine is
It's fantastic, really.
medicine is doing a lot of what the space program did when you and I were kids, and bringing new science back. What's developing in medicine through technology and different things being used in all facets of life now. So it's good for these kids because obviously we need them to do the great work. I was thinking about you too when I saw one of these numbers in the stats. I was handed 24% of the new members of the class of first generation of their family to attend college. And I think about your life story where you had a mentor when you were a kid who saw something special in you and gave you the confidence and set you on the path to go forward and achieve academic dreams and to live this incredibly interesting life you've led. College kids need mentors too. What do you guys do about that?
Well, we're actually doing quite a bit, but we need to do more. One of the first things we're doing is we're in the process of creating a virtual mentoring program whereby we can use technology and use all of our technological resources to create this virtual mentoring program in partnership with K through 12 schools across the state to leverage our students in Urbana, Champaign, and really from any university that want to participate to have the opportunity to use what we've learned because of COVID. You know, people are very accustomed to going online and getting content and information. And my chief of staff, as well as a very senior professor in the College of Education, Dr. Chris Spann, is creating this in partnership with many others across the state. And so the big goal is to put a mentor in the hands of any student across the state that wants it or needs it. And because there's nothing more important than mentoring. And you can do it virtually now almost as effectively as you can do it face-to-face. And as you said, Steve, I would not be here if it hadn't been for someone seeing something in me that I didn't see in myself and gave me I was a very, very shy person. And as I said to a group last night, some may argue now that they wished I was a bit more shy, that I talk too much, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that, but this is what you get. You get the real deal.
We would not have known about yield components, respiration, and the photosynthesis of contrasting genotypes if you weren't talking.
That's
and if you were
so
shy.
we needed you to talk.
We needed to talk. Well, Chancellor, whenever you're here, I get so inspired. I want to go back to school. I have a degree, but I want to go back because it's so exciting. And just the things that you're doing. I love the University of Illinois. One of the things that I really admire is you've got a couple of scholarships that allow and give the ability to Illinois residents for everyone to pursue higher education. Can we talk about those?
Absolutely. I'd be very, very pleased to talk about them. One is a long-standing scholarship, full ride to the university called the Illinois Promise. That's a full ride, tuition, fees, housing, full cost of attending. And it's a very competitive scholarship, but far too many. It's been around for a couple of decades, if not more. But what I'm finding is far too people
They don't know about it.
They don't know about it. And then our latest innovation in this space is something called Illinois Commitment that we started about 4 or 5 years ago that provides free tuition and fees for any student from a family of $67,100 or less, $67,100 or less, and you get free tuition and fees for 4 years if you come in as a first-year undergraduate student, and for 3 years if you're a transfer student. And we've been meeting with community colleges, for example. We were out at Elgin Community College yesterday and meeting with the team there because part of what we do at the universities, a large number of the students that come to the university, and we're trying to increase this number, are transfer students who transfer in after their second year. Not everybody comes in at freshmen.
Right.
Freshmen.
And I think that trend's probably going to continue, but there's a huge Illinois number, as a matter of fact, the biggest in a couple of decades that we'll talk about. I'll give you some of the other rankings, too, when we come back. But I don't want to go to this break without mentioning again that for families that are under the federal poverty level, that Illinois Promise Scholarship is huge. Yeah. And for anybody interested in finding out about more in relation to that, University of Illinois website, best place to go?
Best place to go.
Or just Google up scholarships, University of Illinois,
Or admission,
Illinois Promise.
financial aid.
Yeah.
And don't get discouraged because if you have, you can get in and you can't afford it, here's a way. You
Yeah.
look it up.
It's a
Well, and
huge,
the biggest
huge
issue
deal.
is most young people and families don't have a good idea of what it actually costs to attend a university.
Right.
Very few percentage of our students actually pay the sticker price, okay? Most students don't.
They're going MSRP.
Most families couldn't afford it.
That's right.
Well, any major school, the number's big.
It's big.
So stand by, and
great.
we'll come back more with Robert J. Jones, Chancellor of the University of Illinois, and a guy that's almost as smart as I am.
Wow.
That's
I
happening.
think you've got that backwards.
What? Amongst the many things our friend Robert J. Jones has done in his fascinating life was being part of one of the biggest Grammy-winning gospel groups of all time, Minneapolis Sounds of Blackness. Yeah, you know what? It'll all be in the book. Like you have time to write it. Let me give you some of the rankings, because I think you know these numbers, but I think it's important for the public to hear these numbers as well. 8,325 new incoming freshmen this fall. Record undergraduate enrollment, 35,000 plus. Total, 56,000 plus. Also, this is an important number. The largest number of in-state students in nearly 20 years. About 75% of the class of incoming students are in-state students. Because one of the myths that is out there about the University of Illinois is that the doors have been open for Asian students and other students from around the world to come in at the expense of students in state. It's just not true.
It's absolutely.
Well, can we turn his mic on? There we go. Okay, we're good.
Steve, yes, spot on. It's absolutely not true. We are sitting at about 74% of the first-year students are Illinois residents. And I can tell you people have a misperception about this, but this as a reference point, some of our surrounding states, and I won't call them out, the majority of their students, a very small percentage of their students are residents of those states.
Any of those states rhyme with Iowa, Wisconsin, Indiana?
And the one with the
Michigan?
yes,
Yeah, but we're not saying which one.
We're
Jay?
not saying-
No, I said Ish.
Oh, you said Michigan.
Yes. I said I have an Michigan.
no, and we're very proud of that because,
It
like
should
I
be.
said, a lot of our peers are very dependent upon you. You got 130 universities that come here
Sure.
to recruit students each and every day and they're located here, have offices here. And we're very, very proud of the fact that among our peers here in the Midwest, we have the largest number of residential students. We're very proud of that. And we just got one of the rankings that probably not is on your list there is one that we're very proud of. We're very proud of the U.S. News and World Report ranking, the fact that we went up 6 spots in terms of the national rankings, but among our peer group, we also...
How dare you think I don't have the numbers?
Yeah.
35th.
but-
35th.
Yeah, 35th from
And
41st last year.
And 12th amongst public universities.
12th among publics. We're very proud of that, but what's
should
probably
be.
not on your list is Forbes listed us about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago as one of the top 10 universities who provide an amazing education at an affordable price.
That's great.
Students go on to lead very productive lives, and so we're very, very proud of
The
that.
Granger College of Engineering, here's a couple for you. Top 20 in every discipline that is evaluated.
Yep.
10 among the top 10. Also 7 areas with a number 2 ranking in accounting, but 7 areas with incredible growth and high rankings as well. I got the stats, man.
That's in
Don't
Geese.
doubt me,
in
man.
the
I got
Geese
the
College of
numbers.
Business. Yep.
You give me a piece of paper with numbers, I got it.
By the way, Chancellor gave you the stats. You wrote them down.
Actually,
Right.
his folks did.
His folks did. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so let's talk about the total enrollment because you've got a good group of people there. You've all the incoming freshmen. Special day when you go off to your freshman year of school. How many incoming freshmen did you welcome? And what does it look like in your undergrad enrollment?
Well, we welcome, as I said, about 8,300 and
8325.
5. Yeah, first year
Record
student.
undergrad, 35,467.
And we did it at convocation, and I'm going to tell you, our students are very responsible. They showed up at convocation where they had a chance to hear from myself, and one of our faculty gave the convocation address. In fact, it was Bill Bernhardt, who served as my interim provost for a year, who's been a political scientist, did a beautiful job addressing the students. And then later that evening, we had sights and sounds. And, I'm very big and known on campus of taking selfies. And I don't know if you've seen my latest video. It's about me trying to welcome each and every one of those students by taking a selfie with them. And I finally give up after running around campus, and we end up at the stadium, at Memorial Stadium with sights and sounds. And when they formed this massive block I, which is getting bigger and wider each and every year.
Sure.
And I turn around and take a selfie of all of those
See, that's the thing.
8,325.
That's smart.
So I've interacted with every one of them this year.
Yeah.
I knew you would.
And the optimism and the hope that you get from young kids on a college campus is really important. So I hope you're hearing that.
It is really gratifying. It's the thing that allows me to continue to serve in this critically important position. We've done a lot, but we have a lot more to do. And what keeps me going is when I'm stopped on the quad, or it took me 35 minutes to make it from my car to the reception tent in Lot 38 this past Saturday, because I walked off the street over into the tailgating area, and I got stopped so many
Everybody
times.
wanted to talk.
Everybody wants to talk and take a selfie, and that's what keeps me going. What's gratifying when you hear, you get some criticism that's well deserved, but for the most part, people are so excited about where the university is, where it's going, and the impact that we're having on young people's lives, the impact that we're having on the state through our research and our innovation, and the fact that they are part of a university that's nationally and internationally outstanding.
Well, to be able to make that balance, a global university that still has the Illinois impact it was chartered to have is crucial.
And also having an accessible chancellor. You're there. You're a real person. They can talk to you and shake your hand, which is really important.
Put it the way my new provost that I stole from Minnesota. He was Wisconsin for 20 years and went on to be the dean of the biggest college in Minnesota, their College of Liberal Arts. CLA.
At the University of Minnesota?
At University.
Yeah.
I didn't know him. He was hired there a year after I left, so there was no funny business going on there. But John put it this way. We want to aspire not to be the best university in the world, but the best university for the world.
Oh,
that's
I think that's spot on.
That's great.
That's a great line.
That's great.
You know what that is? That's a mic drop.
Yeah.
That's a mic drop right there. That's what that is. It is always an honor to have you here.
I have a quick question.
You better be quick. We're out of time.
It's really quick. Chancellor, any chance down the road, doesn't have to be today, tomorrow, this year, maybe next year, I don't know, but any chance we can get Steve an honorary college degree in communications, something like that?
We'll see what we can do. Yeah.
Well, it'd be fun. Like, we'll go, you get the degree, we'll all be a part of it.
How about I come down and I open for you at a couple of speeches, and I do a tight 20. I
Then he can get him the degree.
You can march in commencement and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, I got it. And we're going to have to find, the cap big enough for this melon. So we may have to put a couple of caps together. But, I'm in my 43rd year of my leave of absence from college, so I still have eligibility.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fantastic.
I don't think you believe that. But it's still an honor. It's still an honor.
We're starting this degree completion program year after next, 2025. The college of our largest college, LAS, Liberal Arts and Sciences.
Perfect.
Dr.
And it's for folks who took a leave of absence for 43 years, or for anybody that hasn't finished their degree?
Anybody that hasn't finished their degree?
Mm-hmm. Better late than never, Steve.
Well, there's a pretty good chance I'll be thrown out of here by then, so the timing should work out.
We'll keep a light burning in the window for you.
Thank you, Motel 6. Safe travels wherever you go. Congratulations on your success, and it's always a great pleasure to have you here.
It's my great honor.
ILL!
I.
That's how it works. Here, your football here, and your basketball here.